Hello and welcome back to Adventure Worthy. In this first impressions episode, we're having a look at Scrolls. Scrolls is a tactical collectible card game that's been both developed and published by Mojang. It entered open beta for PC and Mac on June the 3rd of 2013, and right now, we're about to have a look at what it's all about. So here we are, already at the main menu. I tried to keep the intro nice and short because I have actually played a good amount of this game, and I feel I'll be able to tell you guys what's going on much better in an unscripted fashion. Let's have a look at my profile to start this off. This is just the welcome screen. It's got some news on it. It tells you which lobby you're in. It tells you how many users are online and all that other good stuff. My profile will tell you that I've played a decent amount of games. Played 21, won 14. I like how they don't give you your losses here. That's amazing. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that, Mojang. My rating at the moment is 0 because I haven't played any ranked games yet. I do have a ranking though. I'm not sure what the difference between those two is. It tells you how many scrolls you've got in total. Your scrolls are pretty much your cards. We'll get into that in just a second. Gives you your rarities and the sad and depressing number of gold available to you. You can edit your avatar here. There are a whole bunch of them to choose from. And, as you can quite clearly see, you can edit the head, arms, torso, legs, and you can change between male and female. The reason I didn't make a male was because they all looked way... I don't want to say ugly because that's just rude. But they looked a little gnarly. These are all way too manly men for me to be able to use. So I'm not going to be using them. I chose a female. And I chose that proud looking face because I want to look down on the people I play against. It hasn't helped me win games thus far, but you know what? I like it. There are a whole lot of cool choices here though. You can have some seriously sick looking armor, Joan of Arc style. It's not bad. Not bad at all. And I've seen some... Ooh, no, get back. Some rather interesting combinations already that people have whipped up. And this does come into play when you play in the game. So it's cool to actually mess around with it and get something you like. Now the settings menu, I should have actually gone there first, but whatever. There's not really that much going on there. That's it. That's all you get to change. But again, and I say this with nearly every single game I look at, it doesn't really matter. For a game like this, you don't need lots of settings. So, that takes you to the home screen, that little button up there. We're going to skip the arena button for now. First, we're going to go to the deck builder, and I'm going to tell you, I suppose, how things work. It would make more sense just jumping into the game immediately, showing you in the game how it works and what all the stats and stuff mean, but I wanted to just show you the amount of cards I have at my disposal right now, the different types of cards, and how deck building works in comparison to something like Magic. Because that's obviously what most people would compare this to. Now, you can load a deck or save a deck here. I've got Juniper Lee Special Volume 1. That's my deck. And I kind of like how they set this up. But when you do set your resolution really high, then the text here is a little bit difficult to read. You've got to obviously click on things. So that's one tiny little criticism that I've got, is that all of this is way too minuscule, but at the same time, if you're going to want to fit 50 cards in there or 50 scrolls in there, you need to have enough space. So I get why they did it. Now, you have 3 different types of cards or scrolls. I'm going to keep calling them cards and you're going to have to just excuse that. I'll try to call them scrolls. I'll work at it. But you've got order, growth, and energy. And when you start playing the game, you get to choose one of the 3 of these pre-constructed decks. I chose Order, and the main reason for that is because I actually saw Total Biscuit playing Energy, and I saw Force playing Growth, and I thought to myself, well, you know, why don't I just try something new, try something different? So I did, and I was kind of disappointed. I'm very opinionated when it comes to the balance and the variety and other such stuff in this game and with the scrolls within this game. So, to me, right the heck now, it seems like both growth and energy vastly overpower order. That's just what it feels like to me. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. But after 21 games, I have yet to think to myself, wow, you know, my order deck just performed incredibly well. Much more so than the growth or energy deck I'd played against. I've yet to come into a situation like that. It hasn't happened. Now, I just feel like with both growth and energy, and I'm not sure if this is because they have more cards at their disposal at the moment. That's one issue I'm currently having with the game, is that because I suppose it's beta and all that, they haven't added that many cards yet. And with order specifically, which is, you know, the type that I chose to play, you don't have that much at your disposal, and you can only set up one type of deck. Sure, you can have it work slightly differently, but there's only one theme of deck that you can set up, and that's using these soldiers. Okay? And when it comes to... here they are. The human soldiers. But when it comes to both energy and growth, there is a whole lot more going on. With growth, for instance, you can set up some really cool wolf or bestial decks. Then there are these little wildling decks and stuff. And for energy, there's siege decks. And there are these funny goblin type decks. And these are all usable, and you can set them up with pretty much, you know, the basic cards that they give you here. Sure, 50 cards alone won't be enough, but if you buy a couple of booster packs here and get a couple extra, then you'll be able to do something special. But it seems like order, this blue one over here, just doesn't work like that at the moment. There aren't enough cards. I actually went and looked, and it seems like there are something like 40 to 50 cards for order at the moment. I'm not sure if the number is the same for energy and growth, but when it comes to variety, the game is just lacking a little bit at the moment. And again, I realize that is because it is currently still in beta, and one of the things that they'll be doing with every single patch that they release is putting more scrolls in the game. So that's kind of cool. I suppose that's the kind of thing that will get better in the long run. Now, with that out of the way, I'll just quickly show you how the store works. I'm going back and forth a lot here, then we'll jump back into the deck builder and we'll have a quick look at that before jumping into an actual game. Then I'll tell you how the gameplay works, what I think about it, and all that other good stuff. I've got 472 gold, 473 gold to be precise, and I have not yet figured out what the best way of buying scrolls is. My gut tells me that buying a scroll pack here, which is 10 scrolls picked randomly from all factions, and this gives you 2 uncommon and 1 rare card. I'm thinking that's the best way of doing it. You can also spend 175 for 1 order scroll, or the same for 1 growth or 1 energy. So that guarantees you 1 from the faction that you want. It's useful, especially when you're starting out. So if you get into the game, you've chosen your order, energy, or growth deck. Don't choose order, take energy or growth, they're much more fun. I'm so mean with order, and it's the race I'm actually playing right now. Anyway, when you've chosen those, then you'll actually get in here with 2,000 gold. Then it makes a lot of sense to buy these single scrolls, because you don't want a mess of random scrolls. But if you've played a little bit and you've got a decent deck set up already, then I think it ends up being worth it going for the random scrolls, because then you can start thinking about making multicolored decks. Multi-faction decks, I suppose, in scrolls you call them that. Then, if you get a rare for energy while you're actually playing growth, it wouldn't be that big a deal, because you're perhaps gonna toss some energy scrolls in your deck anyway. You might use them, because why not? You could perhaps trade the cards that you get. I made the mistake of buying God Hand right after I had chosen Order Pre-Constructed. I bought this by accident, and I've still got it right now. This is a rare card. You can see from the little border around it. That right there is rare. That's uncommon, and that's common. You can just see by the amount of frills on the card. Now, I bought that for 1,000 gold, I wasted 1,000 on it. It would have been okay if I, you know, had a growth deck to throw this in, but I don't. Now, what I could potentially do with this is I could just jump into chat and sell it. Or I could jump into chat and trade it for maybe, you know, a nice order rare. It works. It's decent. The community of the game seems okay thus far. I haven't spent much time chatting to people, but there is that. Trade-in is a thing, and if you're wondering about this just for you section, what this is it's basically a couple of cards that they give you every week. I think they should change that. They should make it, you know, make them expire every 2 to 3 days instead of every 7 days, because it's really fun logging in. It gives you a reason to log in to look at these new cards every time. Now, they put these cards here for certain prices, and you can buy them for both these shards. I think they're called shards. I'm not even sure. There you go. Buy shards or gold. The shards you can buy with real money. You can have a look here. I hope it actually connects, because my internet's super slow at the moment. The shards aren't really expensive or anything like that. For $5 US, you can get yourself enough to buy a new pre-constructed deck. And if you buy one growth deck and one order deck, you can make a nice multicolored deck to play with just those beginner cards. A really nice deck. So that's just for $5 extra on top of what you paid for the game. It's not bad. It's not a ripoff in any way. They're being very fair about it. Now, you can buy these with both shards and gold, but these ones, as you can see, you can only buy with gold. So there's definitely no pay to win here, because once you bought all of those, they'll all be sold out, and that's that. You can't spend shards on anything else. And the pre-constructed decks, well, they have set cards in them. There's no random factor to it, so you also can't really spend a whole bunch of shards on them to be able to have a much better deck. Very cool. I'm a big fan of the way they've done the microtransactions in the game. So these just for you cards, they'll update every week, and they generally tend to be rather good. I, you know, fell victim to their charms. I was like, Godhand, buy. And then my gold was gone. I feel terrible about it. Truly, I do. Now, we're going to spend the gold that I've got, and this gold you get by just winning games against both players and the AI opponents by doing trials. Pretty much everything gives you gold. It's not difficult to get. You just got to spend a little bit of time playing, and you'll have enough gold to buy a couple of things. And I know that I'm probably going to be disappointed by what I'm going to get now, but I'm going to buy, what is this, like 2 order scrolls and maybe 1 random one. So let's do it. Gimme. Powerbound. That's actually not bad. I use this all the time. So if I don't already have 3 of these in my deck, 3 is the maximum amount of 1 card that you can have in your deck, then I'll definitely throw that in. So happy with that. Let's see what else there is. Oh, that's a terrible card. I'm selling that immediately. I always cringe when I draw this. Now we're going to buy 1 random, which is probably going to be one of those 2, but whatever, let's do it. Ooh, Spark. Very useful, unusable by me. Now I can immediately sell the ones that I don't want if I want to sell them. I'm just going to keep Spark because who knows, I might someday add some energy to my deck. But I'm definitely selling new orders as I already have a couple of them and I dislike them intensely. Now I can see here that I might be able to use... Yes, just give me that. I might be able to use that Powerbound card that I picked up. So let's have a look. Let's load the Juniper Lee Special Volume 1. Yes, there it is. New orders. There they are, just chilling. Powerbound. No, get in there. Reorganize it. Beautiful. Now, you can only have 50 scrolls. Not only have, the minimum is 50 scrolls. I would have actually had less in my deck. And there's no such thing as running out of scrolls. It keeps drawing randomly from those 50 that you've got. So you're not going to get to the bottom of your deck and then start again or anything like that. It's completely random when you draw scrolls, and that's how it works. Currently, I've got 54 in there. It tells you that I've got 22 creatures, 4 structures, 17 spells, and 11 enchantments. I want to talk right now about some of my favorites and least favorite cards here, but I think we're going to save that for when we get into the game and they come up during play, because that's going to be more fun. So let's save my deck as is right now, and I will again just say the deck building is fun. It's super fun, but the problem remains that there's just not enough variety. There really isn't. I have seen every single card that Order has to offer already, and I've only played about 20 games. Seen as in I've had them in my possession. Perhaps only one, but they've been there. I can't say the same for Growth or Energy yet because I don't play them, but from what I've seen, there does seem to be more variety there. So I'm just putting that out there right now. At the moment, the game is nowhere near as varied in terms of scrolls or cards as a game like Duels of the Planewalkers or something like that. So let's jump in. In the arena, you can choose to either play single player or multiplayer. There's a tutorial, which I suggest you do. The game isn't very difficult. It's quick to pick up. It's really fun when you get the hang of it. And I suppose it does come down to being, once again, like most of these games are, difficult to master. So you can do the tutorial, you can play a quick match against AI, which is fun. It also gives you gold. Then you can play trials. We'll talk about that in 1 second. Then the multiplayer versions of your gameplay options are quick match, ranked match, and tournament. I don't know if there have been any tournaments yet, but I like that it's built into the UI right here, and they can just run those whenever they see fit. The ranked matches will add to your rating, and the quick matches are just unranked games that you can play against other human opponents. Trials are fun. Trials are super cool because they also give you a huge amount of gold compared to normal games. So right from the start here, you'll see that you can't see the rewards anymore, but the rewards are, they range from about 200 gold all the way up to, let's see, all the way at the bottom here, 600 gold. So if I had to go in right now and win this hard trial, I'd be able to buy a decent amount of cards with just the gold that I earned from that alone. And that's not all you get. You get extra based on your performance in the game. So that's kind of cool. I suggest doing a whole lot of these once you've done the tutorial, just to get a feel for the game before you jump into the PvP battles. Suppose I could call it PvP. So that you can also get a good bunch of gold and spend it on cards, or waste it on cards like I did. That's also fun. You know, that's always a possibility too. Now, let's see if any of these are worth trying out. So, the trials have special circumstances that you need to adhere to. In this one specifically, your opponent begins the battle with a cannon automaton and 2 gun automatons. That one was super difficult. I played that once and I failed that once, and some of these others will be a little bit easier. The idols in the center of the board are stronger than the ones on the edges. You know what? Let's try this. Medium difficulty, and you know, it shouldn't be too tough. We're gonna go with Juniper Lee Special Volume 1. Give me that. And now comes the gameplay. Here we are. This is where the game is immediately different from other collectible card games. The reason for that is because there's a battlefield as well. Ooh, look at this. So that one's got 12, and these ones on the sides have 5. Now, the objective in Scrolls is to destroy 3 of your opponent's idols. Those are his idols, these are my idols. I need to take down any 3 of them, doesn't matter which ones, and I will win the game. That's it. It's as simple as that. These are the scrolls that I currently drew, and that's the cost of them at the top. Right there, that costs 4 order to cast. This one 2, this one 2, this one 3, etc. Now, to get resources, you'll see that he's already got 1 energy over there. To get them, you need to sacrifice a scroll. Now, when you choose to sacrifice a scroll, you can do one of 2 things. You can either sacrifice it for resources, which will give you 1 order if you sacrifice that. If I had in my inventory right now an energy card, and all the rest were order, I could sacrifice the energy card to get 1 energy. Then I'd have 1 little energy just waiting there for me to spend. But I wouldn't be able to spend it on my order cards. So that's obviously where things get iffy when you play with multiple colors. It's very interesting though. Just putting that out there, I really like the way this game handles multiple colored decks. Because you've got to really think about whether you want to sacrifice these cards for the resources now or keep them because, you know, you might need them. I'm going to choose to sacrifice Resonant Helm now because I know that I'm not going to be using it. And when you do sacrifice it, as I said, you can do it for the resources or you can sacrifice it to draw 2 more scrolls. Because later when you have less cards in your hand or scrolls in your hand, then you're going to have to make these tough choices and you need a way to be able to get scrolls in your hand quickly. This is obviously just to keep the gameplay flowing so you don't have both players sitting with like nothing in their hands, just drawing 1 scroll every turn. That would get boring. So they added that and I really like that as a way of just speeding things up, keeping things slightly faster and slightly more frantic. Now I'm going to sack this for 1 order. Got added there. I can play Blessing of Haste now, which is kind of pointless because I have nothing to play it on. So let's carry on. I'm going to end my turn. Oh, there he goes. He's already played something and I'm not even sure I'm ready for it. Ooh, at least that idol has 8 hit points. Now, we're going to want to sacrifice something else again. This is a potential second victim thought tap. What this does is target units countdown is doubled. So let's talk about the stats quickly on the cards. Let's have a look at my Ducal Skirmisher. That's a good one. That's your attack. That's how much damage it does. This is the hit points of the card, and that's the countdown. So now, the way it works is this little gun automaton is currently on 2 countdown. So in 2 turns, he'll be able to attack. Not in the next turn, in the turn after that, he will be able to attack. And on that turn, he will attack. There's no, you could potentially attack. He will attack on that turn. Unless I do something like double his countdown. And then he'll deal 2 damage to whatever's in this line right here. I must apologize that I'm not great at explaining things, but I think I'm getting the message across. So you can attack there, and I could, if I wanted to, if I had, you know, the resources at the moment, put like a spearman down here, and it would have blocked the attack. Then the spearman would have taken 2 health damage to his 3 health, instead of my little idol taking damage. That's how it works. Now, let's see what we're going to do. I want to keep Blessing of Haste because I think it's going to be useful. I think that I'm going to sack the plate armor. So that'll put me up to 2 resources. Now I can, if I want to, double its countdown. So let's do that just to show you how a spell gets cast, how it works. So I'm selecting my card down here, my scroll. I'm clicking on him, and bam! The card gets put up there for my opponent to see. So you can see exactly what happened. And now in 4 turns only, that little guy will attack. Let's see what he's got now. Ha ha! Rush! He didn't do anything. Glorious. Now I can sack 1 more, and I'll have enough to play my Royal Spearman. And if I get the Royal Spearman out now, he should be able to get an attack off on this little automaton before the automaton gets attack off on the Spearman, and I'll win that little battle. What are we going to sack? I want to keep the units because I'm going to need them. This right here, super useful spell, but with only 1 unit on the board, it's not going to help me out that much. Frostwind costs 2, add 1 countdown to target unit and all adjacent units. Very cool. So it's that big area right there. I am, however, sadly, going to be sacrificing that for some resources. Then I'm going to play my Spearman. Now the Spearman right here, he's spiky. When Royal Spearman is damaged in combat, he deals 2 damage to any attacking unit, except if they're ranged. So that kind of sucks, but he will at least get an attack off before this little guy gets his off. Unless this dude has something up his sleeve, we'll see soon. Please don't have something up your sleeve. Sacrifice for reasons. What's Bombard? No! Oh. He did have something up his sleeve. Oh! But look what just came into play. Ah, I like that. Now, we're going to move this dude back because that is actually something you can do, considering it's also about the battlefield, about this Heroes of Might and Magic styled turn-based combat. You get to move your units around, and I'm going to place an obelisk right here. That's going to block. Let's see how much damage. 5 health's worth of damage from this little guy, and it will obviously absorb the attacks from the gun automaton. That'll give my little spearman here a chance to kill that thing, because the spearman can obviously attack across here, and the same would have been if there were, say, 2 of these here. The back one can still attack, obviously. Now, I'm going to have to make a tough choice, and that's going to be to... sacrifice this, but will I sacrifice it for 2 more cards, or for 1 more resource? I'm thinking I'm going to do it for 2 more cards. I'm not a big fan of the Ducal Spearmen, mainly because they only do 1 damage. Sure, they have 4 health, but that 1 damage, it's not great. So let's get rid of him, get 2 more cards, and then end our turn. And I get another Spearman. Well, at least I've got him to sack for the next turn. Resonant Helm. Do I want to heal this dude up? No. You know what? I don't. I could also throw a Blessing of Haste on this guy, but I'm going to keep it because I don't feel it's worth playing it right now. I'm so nervous about what this guy's going to throw out. No! It's a catapult. Okay, so the catapult is an interesting unit. It can't attack your idols, but as you can see over there, that's where it's going to throw its goo, and if anything is in that little area, then it'll be slowed down. So, goo lobber, they get +1 to their countdown. So these catapults can actually keep your units from attacking indefinitely. Now, let's see what we can do. I'm going to sack the Resonant Helm first, because I don't need that right now. It's much better late game, that's the reason I have it in the deck. And I'm thinking I'm going to throw a Skirmisher out. The reason for that is because these Skirmishers are amazing. Probably my favorite unit in the deck, just because they are sort of, with my deck at least, with Juniper Leaf Volume 1 Special Edition. I realize that's not the name, but they are the bread and butter of my army. They what keep me going. They got 3 damage, 4 health, and they have, I think it's called Rampage in Magic. So even if they get blocked, they will still keep attacking when they kill their target. So if they had to do, say this thing had 1 health left, and the dude had 2 damage here, he'd attack that for 1 damage, and then he'd attack the idol behind it for another 1 damage. Very cool. My favorite units. At least one of my favorite units. Now I'm going to try and position my Skirmisher down here. Reason being, because I want to take down these low hit points idols as quick as I can. I am not going to put him here to destroy the catapult, because the catapult's not really bothering me at the moment. It can just stay right the heck there where it is. So let's do that. And now this dude's going to attack. There you go. Only 1 health left on that little bugger. So this guy better do something soon. Hey! What? Oh my goodness. I did not even know that this guy was playing a multicolored deck. He just bust out here with some order. Wow. Okay, and, you know, sadly, little Mr. Spearman's in trouble right now. No! I did not want to move in there. I kinda just ruined everything. I wanted to put an obelisk down in front of him. Oh, whatever. I can't believe what I just did. Okay. So, what I will do now is... let's see. I think I'm going to use a Blessing of Haste and throw down an infantryman. So, throw down an infantryman there. Blessing of Haste. No, wait, let's draw cards first. Let's sack this guy, the spearman here, and draw 2 cards. Just to see what we got. Ooh, Kabonk. That's a really cool one. And another Skirmisher. Ooh. I'm tempted now. I'm hoping he doesn't have anything to speed his units' turns up, because he might. He might have something like that, but for only 3, it wouldn't be anything super special. If it's Bombard again, then I'm in trouble. Now, I've still got 3 to spend, so I could use the Blessing of Haste and Kabonk. Kabonk would take this guy out, and the Blessing of Haste would get this dude to attack, or I could throw down another skirmisher. I'm going to look to the future here and throw down a skirmisher in my top lane. Now you must keep in mind that he can move these goodies up to like block or attack the skirmisher in the top lane when it's their turn to move, or when it's his turn at least. I don't know if he's going to do it. We'll see in just a second. Come on, come on, come on. No! No, it's a Blessing of Haste. Oh, you know what? I didn't like the Spearman anyway, so I don't even care. Ooh, oh, look who just joined the battle. The Honorable General. That is probably the beefiest card I've got, and the most useful once it's out. When Honorable General's countdown becomes 0, all adjacent units have their cooldown decreased by 2. He is sickly powerful. He really is. Now, 4 resources. And I could potentially have all these units attacking now. So have a look at this. Have a look what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to wreck this guy. I'm going to cast a Blessing of Haste on my buddy over here. That's going to have him attack this turn. And he's going to decimate this row. This guy, he's just going to have his way with the idol at the bottom here. And I'm also going to sacrifice this for 2 more cards. Just see what I get. No. That did not just happen. These are such good units. I just got them. They've got a very long countdown, so it takes them a little bit of time to wind up, but they do 4 damage each. So I'm going to pop a crossbowman up here, and I'm going to pop one in, let's say, this lane as well. Whew. Man, now watch my man the skirmisher here just have his way with the opponent's forces. Chikara! Bam! Take that! You just take that. Amazing. Oh, and he busts out a crossbowman too. Dude, a little bit late. Tiny bit late. What's going to happen here is I am going to see if I can move. Where's that range? This dude down here, I'm positioning him now to... Both of these guys are positioned to strike against this line here. I'm just embarrassing this dude now. That's all I'm doing. Purification. Removes all enchantments from target unit. That's going to be sacked. For some resources. And I'm thinking I'm going to play Kabonk to just get that extra card. I want the circulation, the constant circulation with the cards or the scrolls in my hand. So I'm going to do 1 damage to the crossbowman. And another Kabonk. Let's kill him. Let's keep the circulation going. That's so sad. Oh, that is so sad. Whew. Okay. What was that? Oh, Pother. Okay, fine. That was such a silly move. You know, he killed the dude in the top lane, but... What? Ah. Okay. We're gonna sack this. And we're gonna play Mr. Honorable General. It's obviously good to keep a lot of units around him. So, it looks like we're gonna be focusing our efforts down here. So we're going to move this man over there, this man over here, and we're going to keep a tight formation around the Honorable General. Because once he reaches 0, then all my units here will be able to attack. Right the heck now, these 2 are going to attack, so I'll be able to kill that idol immediately, and well, I'll do some damage to the other one. But he currently has nothing in play that's going to even do anything to me, so there you go. Whew. That's 1 down, that gave me 10 gold. What is this? Ooh, those mortars are so random, but at the same time they deal so much damage. If they do hit, 5 damage. That'll kill everything except Mr. Honorable General. Okay, now, let's see what we're going to do. Faith Chains. When the unit with this enchantment on is destroyed, it deals 1 damage to all his idols. I'm going to sack that because I don't think I need that at the moment. What I want is a Blessing of Haste. Yes. Can you believe it? Whew. That's amazing. Now, it doesn't actually make sense using the Blessing of Haste. I wanted to use it right now, but it doesn't make sense. What I will do, however, okay, is I'm going to move the general. I'm going to move everything 1 square up, like this. so that I can get this dude attack in there and keep them out of the range of the goo catapult. Now, what are we going to do? Skirmishers are always good. I suppose you could call my deck a skirmisher deck, just because I love the skirmishers so much. This one gives all units in its row +1 attack, so we wouldn't mind having +1 attack on... on this row right here. Because that's going to give him 5 damage, and that's going to deal, you know, a whole lot more to that middle idol. Then, Blessing of Haste, I'm going to pop on... let's say this dude down here. You'll see why I'm doing that in just a moment. Getting a bit of damage done. It's fine. And the reason I did that was because now, come my next turn, he's going to be recharging. Oh, that didn't really help. His cooldown is just way too quick. It truly is relentless. Okay, so that might have been a bit of a mistake. Anyway, doesn't matter. If I wanted to guess which unit was going to get killed next, I could put Power Bound on it. Then I'd get 1 extra order. 1 extra resource, mana, whatever you want to call it, when it dies. But instead, I'm going to sack this for 2 more cards and see what I get. Ooh, Thought Tap. Okay. I don't really care if the goo catapult attacks, but I wouldn't mind stopping that thing from attacking for 1 more turn. Because then my Honorable General will have his turn, and everything here will just be destroyed. Let's get a skirmish out. Right the heck here. And let's end it. That's it. I was going to say he needs something really special to be able to pull this back, but he doesn't seem to have that right now. Oof. Honorable General's turn, and as you can see, everyone around him is attacking this turn. They're all on 0. They're ready to attack. Oh, and a High Scholar! Another one of my favorite cards. Let's put him... I wanted to put him here, but that means he's going to get slowed down by the catapult. You know what? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter, because if he gets slowed down, the Honorable General will just pull him back up and tell him to attack. So watch this. This is going to be a massacre. Shall I actually maybe move this man up to the top as well? Because these 2 alone will definitely finish that off. Let's do this. Hold on. Honorable General will take that idol out, and then we'll rather put the rest of our firepower in this lane and in that lane. Go! Go forth! This is a massacre. Bam! Oof. That was great. That was some fine play, if I do say so myself. So I suppose I shouldn't really be complaining about the ordered deck, considering my performance right now, but you must keep in mind I'm playing against an AI, they're not that great, and I was reasonably lucky with the cards I drew. This is, however, I would say the only proper style of play that Order has available to it right now. So that kind of makes me sad. But here we go, let's put the skirmisher down, and we're not going to finish him off in this turn. I will, however, just kabonk that guy. For fun. I realize I could have drawn 2 cards, but, you know, it's like dropping a mule in the army in StarCraft. It's just embarrassing. Here we go. Most of my units can attack now, and that's probably going to be that. Scholar. He's got a special ability here. Oops. He's got a special ability here. Draw 1 scroll if countdown is 0. And when I do draw the scroll, it'll reset. So I'm going to do that now, just because I wouldn't mind. Oh, a spearman. That's not a reward, that's a curse. Now we're going to stack this for 2 more cards, because I don't really need more resources. Oh, Waking Stones. That's a slightly more special wall. All damage dealt to Waking Stones is reduced to 1. I'll put that down here just in case. And are we done? Ooh, not yet. He's only got 1 health left on that idol. What is this? Bombard? Transposition? Okay, what was the point of that? Okay. Dead-Eye Crossbowman? That's fine, I guess. Crown of Strength. Oh, you arrived just in time. This is probably one of my favorite cards. Definitely my favorite enchantment in the deck at the moment. I've only got one of them. Enchanted unit gains +1 attack and 2 health. Now I'm going to pop that on the skirmisher back here, because he's got that relentless attack. So it just makes more sense. Because say for instance, the Honorable General attacks here now, all his 4 damage will just be wasted on the 1 health of the crossbowman. But if that dude had to attack first at the back there, then I'd do 1 there and 3 there, which is just much better. Okay, sacrifice this. Transposition. I don't need to do that, but I wouldn't mind drawing a scroll. So let's just switch these 2 around. Wow. 2 Royal Vanguards. These are also rather decent. When his countdown reaches 0, adjacent units gain +2 attack. So if you combine the Royal Vanguard with the Honorable General, if you actually get that in play, that sick combination, then you're going to be unstoppable. Truly, you are. Oh, I can do it again. Let's do it again. Just because. As I said before, circulation. Okay, buddy. Get into play. And this is it. I think I'm about to destroy him. There you go. 3 idols down. I win. We're going to see the end of game score summary right now. Look at that. Look at me. Those proud eyes. Whew. Never seen them so happy. Now my total reward here, 479. So good. I think we're going to spend that immediately. I can't help it. I should be saving up, but instead, I end up spending things. So, that's going to be the only game I'm going to be playing here. The reason I'm not going to play against a real person is because I just don't think it's fun at the moment. Let me tell you why. The problem I have with playing against real players instead of playing against the AI is that you get 90 seconds every single turn to decide what you want to do, to fiddle around, and to finish things off. That's too long. It is so frustrating waiting 90 seconds every single turn for your opponent to make his move. And believe me when I say this, you always wait 90 seconds. So until they add a feature or some sort of mutual agreement option to the game where you can reduce that amount to even 60 seconds. Until that happens, I'm going to stay away from quick and ranked matches against other players because it's just not fun. I realize that I would probably be taking 90 seconds every turn as well. So I'm making it unfun for my opponent too. But it doesn't change the fact that it's not enjoyable. That's one of the bad things I can say about the game at the moment, and it's not really a bad thing because it's something that's so simple to change, and it's something that doesn't affect the play or the fun factor in single player. So there you go. That's what Scrolls is all about, and I've been having a ton of fun in it. The only thing I will say again, and this is really something you need to know, is that the variety in Scrolls, the amount of Scrolls at your disposal at the moment is slightly limited. It's not as much as I'd like. And I say this because I am someone that likes to mess around with slightly more creative ideas when it comes to deck building. I have played a whole lot of Magic in my life, so I know what I'm doing with that. And right now I just feel very starved for choice in Scrolls. But that said, and in conclusion, I'd say that Scrolls is definitely worthy of a grand adventure, and at the moment at least, it's a worthy investment. Because you'll pay once now, around £13, €15 or $21 depending on where you live, and you'll have the game for life. I did mention multiple times there isn't that much in terms of variety of Scrolls at the moment, but that will most definitely improve. It has been improving with every single patch thus far, and the actual gameplay, the Scroll battles, they're super fun. You can play against your friends, you can play against random people online, or you can play against the AI. The mix between the collectible card game and hero-style turn-based battles is something I didn't think I'd like and enjoy as much as I do. Let's not forget about the trading, buying, and selling of Scrolls, which I've not really gotten into as much as I could possibly have, but I feel I would enjoy once I do. And finally, the way the microtransactions are being handled by Mojang is perfect. Perfect and ethical. Get the game over at Scrolls.com right the heck now if you're interested for the amounts I mentioned before, and I will again say it's fun. I've been enjoying myself immensely, and once I can afford another deck of a different faction to start messing around with the multi-faction decks, or once they add even more order cards, it's gonna get even better. That's gonna be it for this adventure worthy. Check back here soon for more. Subscribe if you like the content, like the video, and do all that other good stuff. And most importantly, happy battling with those scrolls, or trading them, or doing whatever you want to do with them. Happy that.